back to Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. Today is another collection obsession with my John Henry Caring Bridge album. So you saw in the introduction that I'd completed this page, and then I'd completed this double page with our timeline. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I do have a 4th page. And I went ahead and I started doing that 12 by 12 format with the slotted page protectors. As you kind of can tell, this is a very blocky design. And this is kind of how the album is going to look. It's probably going to have minimum embellishments, but it is going to be very text heavy because I am literally copying what I had said to family and friends on into this album. Okay? So these aren't going to be super frilly, nothing like that. I want this to more read like a book. In this case, I decided to go kind of like that on this page. Now, the back of this tree paper is this animal paper. So this is one page completely. And I was like, you know what, let's just do it. I didn't really want that paper covered up. I wanted to still see the cute little lions and stuff. And you can see I just added one simple embellishment here. I used my layout guides here to help me determine what I was going to do for the setup. So I decided to go ahead and start our journey off with this setup here, where you got a 4x6 and the rest are 4x3. The reason I picked this was actually mainly based on the photos. I didn't have very many photos for these first couple days of the story. So I had this horizontal photo. Well, if I look here, I've got this, or I've got this, or I've got this, really for horizontal 4x6 photos. I couldn't really crop this down. This photo actually was a 4x6, but I cut it down to 4x3 and you still get the same picture. And then I've got a couple photos here that just happen to also work in the 4x3 sense. As you can tell, this page is heavy in text. And I think that is probably going to be the main deal for this album, is that it's going to be heavy text because I want the story told. The story is more important than the photos, in my opinion, in this sense. So let's kind of talk about what this story is about, because I know you're dying to know. But my son was diagnosed with CDH back in July of 2019. And upon learning of this diagnosis, we found a clinic, Mayo Clinic up in Minnesota, that has an experimental procedure called feto. Well, feto is where they stick a needle through my belly to get to the baby's mouth and insert the balloon into the trachea. The balloon then stops the water from escaping the lungs in hopes that the lungs will expand. It's an experimental procedure, and so we went to try to get qualified. The bad news is that we didn't get qualified. And so that is kind of what's going on here. We met with the specialists about the feto, mainly discussed the math of the procedure and everything, and then we were given the bad news that we didn't qualify. And then when we move on to talking about how we're staying true, we had our multidisciplinary meeting in Kansas City, and they gave us like a 0% chance of survival, and that's where we are in my journey. There's a lot more. This is only August. My son was born in September. So there's more to this story to come. But you can see here, I had 3D pictures of John Henry. We did a photo shoot. This is actually some art that I completed where I was trying to distract myself, those kinds of things. I'm noticing that these aren't a true 4x3, which is kind of driving me nuts. In addition, if you don't get the exact size for both cards in the slots, then you can see the card behind it, which is also driving me just a smidge nuts. Like right here, you can see the pattern behind this one. So I'm going to have to work through how I do that. If you have any comments or any advice, this is my first time really doing a true pocket page album. Please put it in the comments below. I would really like to hear what your tactic is for going about the different size pockets, because this pocket's not the same as this one in width. They're all pretty much the same height because you only have one line. But like this is not 4x3. It's actually smaller than 4x3. I don't know about this. I'm going to keep going because I already purchased everything. I have my photos. And you know what? Halfway through I might say F it and we're just going to do 12x12 layouts. But this format allows me to get a lot more writing than photos because the writing is what's important here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.